Do you believe in God or the universe? Like, what do you believe in?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Where do you think you're going, buddy? Where do you think you're going? I don't think we're on the right wavelength, you know?
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me.
Jack Doherty finally got confronted. This was posted 8 hours ago. Let's see what
Jack
happened
Doherty
now.
has finally been confronted. So our boy Jack decided to go on a podcast with George Janko. Now, if you don't know George, he's basically a guy who is really into God, and he's all about being like a good Christian and stuff like that. So naturally, he decides to confront Jack on his OnlyFans pimping business. If you don't keep up with Jack, basically he quote unquote manages a bunch of OnlyFans girls, and he takes a percentage of their money, essentially just pimping these girls out. And some people even say that Jack sort of gets these girls hooked on OnlyFans at a very young age, like as soon as they turn 18 and stuff, and he basically like exploits them a lot. But obviously he disputes that fact, of course. But in my opinion, in general, he's just a slimy douchebag. You've probably seen the tons of clips of him going around just harassing people, treating his friends like trash, and just being an all-around douchebag. But anyways, let's check this out, see what Jack's defense for all this stuff is. Also follow me on Instagram and let me know anything you want me to talk about.
I noticed that you
Now that he put his plug in real quick, let me put my plug in real quick, because I always be forgetting to plug myself, bro. Anything that you have, I have. Just go right there. Come on now. Come on. I'm begging. Please help me.
manage girls. Is that true or no?
Yeah,
And managing in their OnlyFans?
yeah, and like kind of all around too. But like, yeah, I mean, I help like blow them all up on social media, and they make money on OnlyFans and honestly all platforms.
I just feel like it's a grimy world, bro. Like, I'm assuming these girls are selling nudes.
yeah.
I mean, like, in no disrespect, this is a version of pimping. You're pimping these girls.
Yes.
Up. Do you don't think that's attacking your heart in any way?
The fact that he shrugs like that.
Do you don't think that?
I mean, yeah, but I'm making millions of dollars doing it, so can you really blame me? Yeah, we could blame you, bro. These girls basically screw them out of thousands or if not millions of dollars for what they're exposing online, but you're making the money. That's the craziest part about it.
That's attacking your heart in any way?
No, because at the end of the day, they all, you know, they already like want to do what they're doing, and it's just like I just actually make them money doing it, because there are so many girls that actually do OnlyFans and make, you know, $0 and stuff, and they're doing it all for what, you know? It's like every girl I work with makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and millions of dollars a year, you know?
Of course, Jack would think this way, but they're making money. Everything is all right as long as they're making money, because life is all about money, of course. This entire podcast is kind of funny because George is trying to make him feel some sort of remorse, right? Or feel bad for what he's doing, you know, see if this sort of weighs on your heart or anything. Are you morally doing the right action? Do you think you're going to be proud of yourself when you look back when you're older and stuff like that? And it all sort of just goes through Jack's head, you know, in one ear, out the other. And he obviously just doesn't care if anything he's doing is immoral or exploitative, because they're making money, you know? And
Yeah, he doesn't care, bro. There's no reason for him to care, especially if the girls agree to do it. There's absolutely no reason for him to care. I think that it's wrong, but obviously he doesn't and the girls don't, so what can anybody really say about it?
money justifies everything. It's a very predictable mindset for someone like Jack, whose pretty much entire self-worth revolves around material possessions and showing off your lifestyle. Then George points out that his own ex-girlfriend McKinley was also doing this OnlyFans stuff, and he asks like, oh, were you okay with that? And bro obviously hasn't been watching the Pegasus videos, is not caught up with the lore. Jack is actually ecstatic about that because he's a little cuck.
Do you think that it's like affecting your heart that you're pushing these women in a industry, in a realm that is not gonna
I wouldn't
end
say
well
I'm
for
pushing them to like do it, and I don't think it's not ending well for them. Like,
did your girl do it, right, or no?
yeah.
Was she doing nudes?
Like not like showing her actually, like not like actually showing her.
So like that in its general, like how did that make you feel? That like your heart was like, that's my girl, but she's also doing those pictures. Was she doing that before she met you?
Nah. We were together for like 6 months before we started any of that.
Okay, so like let's just stay there. Like how did that feel with you? Like were you like, you no jealousy in your heart of like, hey, that's
No,
mine?
like it was like it was like on it, like I don't know, like we both were. Well, it wasn't.
You just think of it as a business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not a relationship then. You feel me? You can't be in a relationship with somebody and you are having them do OnlyFans. You agreed to do OnlyFans with them and not feel any type of way about it. Obviously, like he said, she wasn't really showing anything. But at the end of the day, bro, I don't want my girl doing OnlyFans. Like, I don't want to know that there's other dudes out there yanking to my girl. You know what I mean? That's weird, bro. That's weird. That is the definition of cucketry. I don't even know, like, the whole cuckold. I don't know, but that's weird.
sounds about right. The girlfriend who he claims to love and that he's been crying about for weeks now after the breakup is just business. You know, it's all business to me. It's all about the money. I don't really care about her, bro. It's all about business. But also, I love her, of course. Wow, I wonder why you broke up. Almost like you treat her like a money-making machine, and she's obviously using you as well to promote her business and just moving on to the next streamer. But basically, both of you were essentially using each other, so in a sense, you kind of deserved each other. It's just one of you was stupid enough to actually catch feelings when it was obviously a transactional relationship. Also, can I just say, what a weird combo. We got George Janko here, the good Christian, asking him like, oh, is this affecting your heart, Jack? Bro's gonna be like, what the fuck's a heart? Can you sell that? Can it make money? But yeah, in this next part, George actually gives a really good example. He says, would you want your daughter doing OnlyFans?
I think it just gets tough in these type of industries, bro, because like it weighs on you, and you might think it's not weighing on you, but I think like, for example, would you want your daughter doing that?
Probably not, no.
So then how could...
That's crazy. That's crazy. If you can't accept that your daughter would do it, then why are you having these girls that you barely know do it? Obviously, he knows them after a little bit of time because he gets to know them. But brother, you don't see what's wrong there? You don't see the parallel? Like, it's not right. He's making thousands of dollars, millions of dollars on it. But still, it's just not right, bro. There's no moral compass on him.
Could the mother of your daughter, for example, your father set a good example for you. You modeled after your father. He went from building roofs after roofs, putting a roof above your head. And now, God willing, whatever the relationship between you guys happen, it's in God's will. But like, say you marry her. You wouldn't be proud of the fact that your wife was doing that, because then your daughter's going to do that. So if you don't want your daughter to do that,
unless you make enough money to where your daughter doesn't have to do that. I mean, that's the whole goal with all this. So
the money, of course. You don't get it, George. It was making me money. I had no other choice, obviously. You know,
I get to a degree if you're really chasing a bag off something and you're really you're using people, right? It's a bad thing. But if you're using people to get to a point where you don't ever have to use another person or ever have to work again, that's different. But the thing is, Jack Doherty doesn't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. What you do, you use these girls over and over and over and over until you no longer have money from them. And you know what you use all of that money for? You go, you buy jewelries, you buy fast cars, you buy houses, you buy all these shits that are depreciating in value over time. The house doesn't depreciate, but everything else depreciates over time. So what are we doing? Talking about the money, bro. Listen, if it's about the money, how about you stash your money? How about you invest into some real shit instead of the girls, the 18-year-old girls that you're putting on OnlyFans? Like, come on, man.
Jack is kind of like Mr. Krabs in that episode with the Flying Dutchman, where Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. That's pretty much Jack with everybody he claims to love. He will just sell them out at the first opportunity as long as it makes him more money. And what a great comparison by George there. Like, if you wouldn't want your daughter do it, why let your potential mother or your potential wife do it either? You know, his excuse is like, oh, we're gonna make so much money that our daughter won't have to do it. I feel like, you know, you learn from your parents. You know, usually your role model is your mom or your dad. You know, I see how hardworking my dad is, I want to emulate that. I see how caring and loving my mom is, I want to emulate that. And if I see my mom, okay, I'm not even gonna entertain that hypothetical. Holy fucking shit. Also, I don't think Jack is actually being genuine, because when the time actually comes and, you know, suppose he gets a daughter, God forbid this guy procreates or whatever, when the money's in front of him, he cannot refuse it. He'll be like,
I wouldn't say God forbid that he procreates, because I feel like everybody should have the blessing of having a child. Just hopefully he raises her properly, which by saying that he wouldn't want his daughter to do OF, I mean, mean, I would hope that he raises them properly.
Like, I think I ran out of girls. I gotta pimp out my own daughter, some shit like that. Then George talks about morality with Jack. Place their bets in the comments how this is gonna go.
I think you should just clean up things that are morally wrong. I know that you're making money off of these girls selling their nudes, but bro, they have fathers that are just absent. And at the end of the day, bro, when we meet,
Imagine their absent fathers seeing them do this for only a couple grand a month. And imagine their absent fathers seeing them do it for a couple $100,000 a month. That's where it's
I don't
like,
think
okay.
that's gonna get them off the couch and head over. You know what I mean?
Gets the parents retired. Like they're happy.
Yeah, but it comes with a price.
Right, so Jack obviously has to deflect there.
I get what he's saying. If these girls are doing OnlyFans and it's like they choose to do it and then he reaches out and he's like, I'll be your manager for this amount of money, I could understand that. But if you just meet a random girl and you're like, hey, you want to do OF? I'll make you a couple $100,000. You just have to sign up with me. That's different. It's a completely different aspect of it. Bro, Jack doesn't have like brain cells, bro. I swear to God.
Right, because any sort of serious conversation that makes him take accountability for any of his actions is completely foreign to him. All right, so let's just go over his excuse, right? He's basically saying that, they were going to do OnlyFans anyways, and I just sort of come in and boost their income like a fairy godmother or whatever. Now, first off, just from his accounting of the whole story, that McKinley didn't actually do OnlyFans until she got with him. I don't know. I pointed this out before, but how does every girl that talked to this guy become an OnlyFans girl? I don't know. That's kind of fucking suspicious, all right?
Yeah.
He's kind of like Johan Liebert from Monster. You know how he can make people commit suicide just from a conversation with them, and he's like this crazy psychopath, genius criminal? Actually, that doesn't describe Jack at all. He's kind of like the opposite, but he has some sort of similar power where he can turn any susceptible girl into an OnlyFans girl or something like that. Then George asks him if he believes in God.
Do you believe in God or the universe? Like, what do you believe in?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Where do you think you're going, buddy? Where do you think you're going? I don't think we're on the right wavelength, you know?
If you really believed in God, do you think that he's going to bless you with a peaceful heart when you're moving in this direction? Dude, you're collecting money from girls that are doing things that you know you wouldn't let your daughter do. So why would you think that your father, who also is their father, why do you think he would bless you if you're continuing to do this? You already have enough. You already have enough that you can say, hey guys, you know what? Let's scratch the contract. You guys go do what you guys need to do. If you want to continue or you don't continue. But these are blood money and I don't want my hands to be a part of it anymore. I mean, that right there.
I like this dude, bro. I don't know exactly who this guy is, but he seems like he's really there. I really like this guy, actually. I might have to start watching a few of his videos.
Will make you in a direction of peace. And then from there,
That was just stressing the out. I'll be like, God damn, like all these bills are adding up. Like,
all right, so Jack is basically admitting that he's not really competent enough to make money any other way. And Jack definitely seems to be like a victim of lifestyle inflation, because he seems to, like, as he went and earned more money, he just started spending more and more, that to the point where that increase in money didn't even really matter because he's too stupid to actually save. It was then George asked Jack to, quote, set the women free.
And I really do think it starts with setting these women free.
setting them free is crazy. Like,
if I have
that
to
sounds fucking insane.
If I have to be,
It's true though, bro. If you have them in a contract where they need to fulfill on OF, that is exactly what that would be. If you ripped up the contracts today, that's what it would be. You'd be setting those women free so that they could do what they want and make their own money. That's what it would be. He would never do that, right? Because he needs the money. But that's what it is. It really is that.
free. Oh yes, here you guys go. I'm so sorry for holding you multi-millionaires captive, as if I'm such a bad person. They're not being held captive. They all love this shit.
I'm not saying you're holding them captive.
They're like, oh yes, like they love money. All these girls love money. They love clout. Like they love this.
But why
shit.
don't you be the
This
guy
is their-
that teaches them that that's not what happiness is about?
I don't know. You tell them that, bro. They love it. Like I'm telling you, like
I'm
once
trying to tell their landlord.
Yeah, the drug addicts just love drugs, guys. I can't really do anything about it. They just keep consuming my product here. Not my fault, guys. Listen, I obviously think that these girls are pretty messed up in the head, and they probably have their own, like, issues to sort as well. And they probably do enjoy, like, the money and attention it brings. And, you know, I've pointed out they're pretty messed up in the head using, like, kids to promote their OnlyFans and shit like that. But obviously Jack here is encouraging it, right? He is part of the problem here. And I don't know what kind of contracts he's signing there, like how much of a cut he's taking, how exploitative he's being. Is he approaching girls at the ripe age of 18 being like, well, you know, you can make $1 million right now. Don't think about getting a job. Don't think about doing anything, you know, valuable to society. Just get right. Quickly get up right on OnlyFans right now. Ruin your life right now. I'll make sure to take 99.99% of the profits though. But don't worry, you'll get some scraps. I feel like in general, everyone's pretty much aware how messed up these sort of like industries are. And it always like sort of escalates, like, you know, from OnlyFans to some other type of content as well. So he's basically getting them into the pipeline as well, which is super creepy and shit. And the thing is, this entire podcast, George is being like so nice to him. He's genuinely trying to help him like a older brother / father figure. And it's just not working on Jack.
How I picture your life is a pilot just flying head down and then like,
no,
yo, bro,
I'm
pull over. And you're like, no, I got a parachute. And I'm like, no, dude, like, we got to land this. You're like, no, I got a parachute. It's fine. And you're just like fast. That's what I see, bro.
And then right before we hit the ground, I'm going right back up. And you see, I told you. And then.
Yeah, but how many more times are you going to do that until you're exhausted?
That's what life's about. That's what life's about.
Yeah, that's what life.
That is not what life's about. You should always be trying to go on the up and up. You should always be trying to project yourself into a higher place morally, financially, mentally. That's really what life is about. You're trying to get to a point where you're like, wow, this is life. This is what I worked so hard for. You pimping people out isn't going to bring that for you. That's my personal opinion, bro. If he was a manager for OF girls and he was taking like 20 to 30% and leaving the rest to them, but he went on the back end and he was doing all of the stuff that he needed to do, that's where it's like, okay, well, you're a manager. That's how I think is, okay, you're a manager and you're giving them a platform. So you know what, 20 to 30%, that's not too much to ask for. But holy bro, if you're taking 80 to 90% of their income, you're using them. That's what it comes down to. This is crazy. Jack is crazy, man.
Life's about, bro. It's all about being a dickhead on the internet, having absolutely everyone hate you, tossing aside your friends, your loved ones, and everybody for some extra cash and stuff like that. That's life, bro. You don't get it. You just don't get it. I have a supercar. What do you have, you know? Then they talk about the whole driving accident and how, you know, Jack started filming his bleeding friend after the accident instead of getting him to the hospital.
Were you the one who was in the car accident?
Yeah.
Oh, how was that? By the way, what caused that?
I hydroplaned.
Are you happy that happened because of the press? Or are you like upset?
I'm happy that happened in a way where it's like I learned my lesson in the best possible outcome. Like no one got like seriously injured. Like it's like before that I don't know, like, you know, when you're in those cars, like you drive fast and crazy. It's like I'm young. It's like it's kind of hard not to do. So like crashing at that speed was probably the best thing that could happen for me to like just slow down in life and be like, damn, like I gotta just chill out.
Yeah,
okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. This was probably the smartest thing that he said all interview. I'm not gonna lie. Because when I was younger, yeah, I used to drive really recklessly. I'm not gonna lie. The day that I graduated high school, me and my boys, we raced from where we graduated 3 towns over. And when I was getting off the highway, I turned too fast and my car, like literally, I was on 2 wheels for a second before it came back down. I remember that day clear as ever, bro. And that slowed me down in driving. And now I drive a lot slower because like my wife's in the car. I'm gonna have my baby in the car soon. So I've really like, all right, we're gonna take it a little easy now. But you feel me? Like he's not wrong when he says that young people drive stupid and fast and reckless, especially when you have that much money and you have supercars, bro. If I had a supercar, I would have to let it free for at least the one time. But you never know, that one time could be your last time.
really love to know what sort of lesson you actually learned from that, because last I checked, you were just a massive douchebag, right? You started filming your friend who was bleeding from the face, and yeah, I feel like every situation you just use for more views and try to boost your relevancy and shit like that, and it doesn't matter if your friend's in danger or anything like that. I feel like, you know, he's trying to act all deep, but in the end, he just learned nothing from any of it.
Who do you think your audience is right now?
Just depends. Like a little, like honestly, a little bit of everyone. Like every age, I feel like.
Everyone, huh?
I doubt that a 30-year-old man is watching Jack Doherty. I really do doubt it, because I'm 26 and I'm never watching that man, bro. I watch what he does because it's good. It's like, it's good for my content because I get to react to an actual bimbo, but in like life ways, bro, it's not good. I promise you.
Everyone under the age of 7, maybe. Like, no grown adult is watching this broccoli head ass.
So if you don't mind me asking, then why do you care? If your outcome is like, yo, I'm just gonna cash out, that way my bloodline never has to worry about bread. Why do you care? Because I feel like it does weigh on your heart. I feel like you care, bro. I think you're an empath.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to like see me as a person I'm not. You know, it does hurt like people judging me off, you know, videos they see online. But at the end of the day, it's my fault for, you know, doing it in the first place. But yeah, I want people to see a side of me that not everyone gets to see. Like, I'm very different off camera.
Okay, so he's like very different off camera, apparently. I mean, I don't really have any evidence of that, so I'm just going to assume that's not true because every single thing I've seen on this guy, granted, it is on camera, otherwise how would I fucking see it? It's just insufferable, right? And now he's crying that he's getting judged by the internet or whatever. I mean, nobody uploaded that shit but you, man. Like, you gotta deal with it.
And I don't mean to bring this up, but it's something I have to. There was a report that she said that you threatened her.
Yeah, I mean, I never threatened her. Like, we, you know, couples fight, whatever. I never threatened her. I threatened her little Maybach, all right? But, like, it wasn't that deep. I shouldn't have done it. You know, that was my fault.
Wait, so did you threaten her or not? I didn't really get an actual answer. He's like, no, I didn't.
He threatened her, but what he said, he wasn't being like real about it. Like, he wasn't gonna do anything about it. That's what he's saying from the male mindset, I feel like. I could be wrong, but that's basically how it sounds.
Threaten her, but also, oh yeah, my bad guy. so you did? Because I don't know, she called the cops on you, bro. That's not like a normal thing somebody does.
I also looked up a lot to like Jake and Logan Paul and stuff. Like,
I can tell, bro. I literally saw it from a mile away.
Oh my God. Of course he was a Jake and Logan Paul fan, bro. Now it all sort of makes sense why he's such an enormous turd. It's like Jake and Logan Paul, you know, had a baby and they produced this piece of shit. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Click this video or you have to get...
Shout out Pegasus, bro. Yeah, dog. I don't know, man. Jack Doherty, he recently has been just being blasted on the internet, and for good reason. I mean, this was realistically a whole video about how he pimps out a bunch of girls and probably takes all of their income. That's basically what I got from this video. But if you got something else from this video, please let me know in the comment section. If you did like, leave a like. If you disliked, leave a dislike. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Take care.
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me. I don't think you see me when you fucking up all in your dream. I don't think you got trust for me. Just ain't what I see.